Okay. Hi, Anne. Thank you so much for joining me today. Just for all folks who are watching this, I'm Lisa Talia Moretti, and I'm one of the board members at the Conversation Design Institute. And Anne is one of our brand new fellows. So congratulations. Welcome to the CDI Institute. And we're so excited. I'm so excited to learn more about you today. So if we can open up, could we just do a really short introduction on who you are, where are you based in the world, and what your current role looks like?
Sure. Thanks, Lisa. Hi, and thank you for everything. So right now, I am in New York, on Long Island, the beachy part of New York, and I have been in tech since the 90s, and then I left and I had kids and run restaurants and was an executive chef and had a business and then had another business. And then my husband had a business. And we had a third child. And my story is a bit of a roller coaster and not really very common story, but I have to say everything that I've done from Adobe Photoshop 1 to owning 3 family businesses and working in one of the most brutal industries, 2 of the most brutal industries that exist, which is construction in New York through my husband and restaurants in New York through myself and having food
Wow.
businesses. It's given me a very different perspective as a designer, but also mixed in that I got my first certification in 2001, web and graphic design, and I've never left. I just came back with full intentions about 5 years ago, did the UX path, and then about 3.5 years ago, it was just a couple months before ChatGPT launched. That's always my timing. uh, my landmark in time is that Rupa Chaturvedi, who is now one of my mentors, did a post about conversation design. And I really, if it was a movie, like the angels lights would have come on and the angel sounds. And I said, that's the future of everything. I was like, I just knew I had this complete epiphany based on one of her posts. And I just never looked back. I just learned everything I could. I took the CDI classes, YouTube, just built things and just completely obsessed for 3 years. Started doing freelance. And this is the process I tell everybody who is getting started. Find a friend, find a business, do something, and start building things out in the world as freelance, because that experience is what got me my first job. If you go out into the world and build a real project, that is real freelance work. And that, I think, is the gateway.
Amazing. So I really want to kind of drill down into the fortune telling and
Yeah.
futures perspective that you brought to your career. Like, what was it about that post, and what was it about the situation of the world that you found yourself in 3 years ago that made you think conversation design is the future, and I'm dedicating my career to this?
It just made sense. I think a lot of what we do as humans in figuring things out is pattern recognition, much like AI is pattern recognition. And I've been in tech long enough to have seen some big shifts. I remember when the internet was invented, when that all first started. I've seen the big shifts and it seemed obvious to me. I talk to my phone all the time. I have my assistant, and as a busy mom, I think I always loved being hands free. It wasn't even that I loved it, it was necessary for my survival. So I got very good at early using Google Assistant to send texts while I was driving with screaming kids in the car. I had lived it. I think it was lived experience that made
Yeah.
me realize, you know what? Everybody else can catch on to this too. VCs are spending tons of money on voice. There are a handful of people who say it isn't accessible, and yeah, it isn't everything. But I think it is coming for a lot of the UI out there in the world. I think the end game will be that we all have a personally trained AI in several devices. I think we'll have a kit. I wrote an article about it actually. And I think that AI will reside in our kit, whether it's a pin and a ring and a phone and a headset and glasses, all whatever. I think we will talk at our AI assistant, and our AI assistant will interface with other AI assistants. So, like those things we used to dread, right? Because that's the kind of stuff that I think will come first, is that high repetition, really annoying things that we hate, like calling our electric company to talk about a bill or to make a payment. I think
Yeah.
we'll just be able to say, hey, whatever wait word we use, uh, pay my gas bill or reorder last week's groceries. I don't think it's going to take everything over. It can't, right? People love TikTok, people love games, people love visuals. But for the things that we find repetitive and just a little bit annoying, not including dishes and laundry, we'll get to that. We'll get to that point where those things are that simple.
So, working in the hospitality industry and working in the construction industry, I'm sure that you have had to manage and also facilitate a lot of really complex conversations, really difficult conversations, and lots of conversations that probably, have required, lots of jargon to be able to like have, proper conversations with the stakeholders who were involved. So, if you think about those experiences that you bring to your career, coupled with your UX design experience, what are the kind of fundamental principles or core principles that you bring to your work every day?
I'm a one-liner kind of girl. It's like I don't know. I like to laugh and I like to enjoy my work. So I tend to come up with one-liners. But one of my real true beliefs is assistance, not replacements.
Great.
I say it all the time. And I think one of the things that is a leadership misstep that's happening everywhere right now
Yeah.
is trying to replace their humans instead of augment them. When you call whoever it is you're calling and you know your issue is complex, as soon as you hear that AI voice, you're like, right? And you don't want that to be the first thing your people feel, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to say, it's complicated, you know, and be able to get to that human. And that human should be the one that has the AI power on their side to get things done and be able to tap the AI in and out as it needs to. Now, listen, there are some things self-serve is perfect for, right? Simple, minimal flows. Where's your closest store? I want to make a payment, right? Those things,
Yeah.
easy. But like, if there's a mistake on your bill or something that has any level of complexity to it, it's not, maybe the AI can handle it, but should they? Is that what you want to project to your customer? People want to feel kind of slightly cared about by the people they do business with. I think that people see the numbers of like, oh, we can close call center here and we can reduce and it's like you're not paying attention to the whole picture. They get blinded by savings. It's like that's not necessarily spend it now, save it later is not something people care about and do anymore. And I think it's so short-sighted. Just like I think the way we're not nurturing our juniors in the industry is super short-sighted. Juniors are being replaced by AI. That's what people say. To some degree, it's true, but I don't think we nurture them. I nurture them because that's what my whole being is about. My whole online presence is about providing resources to them and nurturing them and doing free classes. And you guys do it too, right? You're super affordable. You have
Yeah.
free classes. I think nurturing the human pieces of everything we do has to be a core testament because I don't think people are going to want to do business with companies that are just treat you like a number, never get you to a person if you need one. That bad customer service. It's as simple as that, right? People love particular businesses, like Costco is one, whose customer service is just outstanding and everybody sort of knows it. They're profitable. They're wildly profitable. So you can do both. You can be profitable and still take care of your customers.
I really love that message so much. And I'm so glad we have an advocate like you in the world of business who continues to advocate for humans. So we appreciate you so much. I wanted to just go back one question. And you have also started to, talk a little bit about this, but I'd like to tap back into your future telling capabilities, Anne. And I'd really love you to kind of paint a picture for us about what your predictions are and what kind of trends you're seeing in the market that you think are going to be changing the world of conversation design. What trends are you seeing? What are your predictions that you're seeing, and how conversation design will be changing? And as a result of that, how should conversation designers be adapting?
I always joke that they call people unicorns, and I always joke that I'm a dragon and dragons eat unicorns, uh, because I have worked so hard to add tools to my toolbox over the last few years, nights, weekends, 24/7. When you come from the restaurant industry, like 50, 60 hours a week at a desk is a cakewalk. So for me to have just learned so much and just completely obsessed and learning and learning and learning constantly, when I refer to myself as a dragon, and believe me, it's I'm just kidding, but I am and I am not, because I feel like the dragon is the replacement for the new unicorn, because you need so many more skills than just the
Mm.
unicorn needed. Right now, the hiring is so bleak that if you don't have traditional UX and UI and understand developers and be able to talk to developers and be able to do research and be able to do conversation design and voice and chat, and that computer vision is coming. If you don't have this packed toolbox right now, the dragon toolbox, it's very hard to find work, right?
Yeah.
You need to be able to be a conversation designer that just wrote flows. And there's a handful of them left out in the world, but it's evolving into, you need to be able to do voice, you need to be
Mhm.
able to do chat. They want this person to come in that can pivot anywhere in the project that they're needed. So I think what I tell conversation designers is learn some product design. And what I tell product designers is learn some conversation design. Where if
Gotcha.
you asked me that question a year ago, I would have been like, conversation design, that's it. It's fine. That's all you need.
Mm.
But as the jobs shrink, the expectations grow. And I think the expectation is the toolbox.
Gotcha. So conversation designers in the future being really fluent in a number of different disciplines, a number of just different expertise, like almost having to live in an intersection, right? They live at the intersection of conversation design, product design, and technical development, really, and like being the bridge that can move across these different
Yeah,
spaces
I
and have
think that
different conversations.
multimodal, right? Multimodal is will be part of everyday conversation design work, because I think we're heading in that direction between all the glasses that are going to be coming out and computer vision through your phone. And there's a whole unexplored territory that's like, we're at the edge of the cliff with that. And it's about to hit. So I've been looking for some education on learning more about computer vision and AR and things
Mm.
like that, because I think that's going to be part of the mix. And I hope that at some point tons of jobs come back and we can all just do conversation design again. I just don't think right this minute, this snapshot in time, it's just that.
Well, it's been so great discussing the now as also discussing the future with you, Anne. Thank you so much for your time
Oh, you're
and
welcome. I
all the
love CDI.
CDI loves you. Thank you so much for everything. Really take
Okay.
care. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.